Hey there guys, welcome to Dino's Vault and welcome to my first ride review of the 2018 Honda Hornet 160R. In this video, I'll also be sharing information about ABS and CBS and tell you which is a better safety feature to prefer among the two. Now, I don't know if the weather forecast shows any hint of rain, but it's been literally raining new motorcycles all over the place here in our market of late. It almost feels as if every manufacturer is on a supernova mode in their quest to obliterate the competition and reach the top spot. Now, getting back to this video, the bike I'm reviewing today is the CBS model. The ABS variant is yet to arrive here. I'll do a quick ride review of that model once it arrives. But for now, let's just go ahead and find out what all new we get with this 2018 Hornet 160R. First of all, what is visually apparent is the all-new LED headlamp unit, which gets a split layout of the lighting elements lurking underneath. Secondly, the body graphics are also new. Although the new graphics look very much similar to the older ones, you'll notice a subtle change in the fonts and the design pattern of the graphics. We also get this new yellow metallic color shade now, along with the red and blue color schemes that look quite attractive and striking. This is the orange color variant, which looks quite good too. Thirdly, and most importantly, Honda are offering optional single channel ABS for the 2018 model, which is a very good move in my opinion, because making a life-saving safety feature accessible to the masses would definitely minimize the number of fatalities emerging out of road accidents here in our nation. Now, please note that single channel ABS means the ABS or the anti-lock braking system is operational only on the front wheel. So under harsh braking scenarios or panic braking scenarios on wet road conditions, ABS would prevent the front wheel from locking up, thereby preventing the bike from skidding and crashing. Now, please note that ABS is just a good safety feature that minimizes the chances of you crashing with your bike. Never be under the opinion that just because you have ABS feature on board that you can ride at breakneck speeds, and even if you brake hard, the bike will not skid and you would not crash. My friends who are pro riders have lost their lives despite riding motorcycles equipped with dual channel ABS. So always know your limits and know your bike's limits, because technology always has its own limitations. So it's better to keep a check on your speed such that you can control your bike should anything unforeseen happen. Now, you might also wonder why only single channel ABS and why not dual channel ABS. First of all, the companies try to keep the production cost low such that they can price their products aggressively. Offering dual channel ABS would further increase the price and render the bike more expensive than its rivals. Also, as per experts, the ideal braking technique involves applying 70% pressure on the front brake and 30% on the rear brake. Now, experienced riders for the most part use only the front brake and hardly use the rear brake, so having ABS on the front wheel is sufficient enough for experienced riders. However, for rookies and inexperienced riders, bikes with dual channel ABS would be a lot safer. Now, I know that was one heck of a lecture, so sorry about that. Now, getting back to the review, let's just quickly compare the Hornet with the X-Blade for those who might be confused as to which one to go for. First of all, the design is a lot sharper for the X-Blade, whereas for the Hornet, we can say it is more macho and muscular. I also like the headlamp and the tail lamp layout of the X-Blade better than this new Hornet, although the X-shaped tail lamp layout of the Hornet looks quite radical. The X-Blade gets a longer and more roomy seat compared to the Hornet. The X-Blade also gets a long twin-port exhaust compared to the short and stubby single-port exhaust of the Hornet. The speedo console is better equipped on the X-Blade because we get a gear position indicator there, which the Hornet speedo console does not get. Dimensions-wise, the Hornet is longer than the X-Blade, but the X-Blade is wider and taller than the Hornet. Wheelbase is almost similar for both, with the X-Blade offering 1 mm longer wheelbase compared to the Hornet. Ground clearance wise, the Hornet offers 164 mm of ground clearance compared to 160 mm of the X-Blade. The Hornet, however, gets a fatter 140 section rear tire compared to the 130 section rear tire of the X-Blade. The Hornet gets pedal discs at both ends and also gets optional ABS, whereas the X-Blade gets only a front pedal disc and doesn't even get an optional rear disc as of now. We do get hazard switches on both the bikes, which is a good add-on and would really come in handy while touring or even in foggy and rainy conditions. The tank capacity remains the same for both at 12 liters. Weight is also similar for both the bikes, with the Hornet ABS variant being 1 kg heavier than the X-Blade. However, when we look at the power and torque figures, at least on paper, that's where the Hornet races ahead. The Hornet puts out 14.9 bhp of max power compared to 13.9 bhp of the X-Blade. The Hornet puts out more torque as well at 14.5 Newton meters compared to 13.9 Newton meters of the X-Blade. Now, talking about the ride feel as to whether this 2018 Hornet offers a more exciting riding experience, well, I would say not really. It's more or less the same as the 2017 model. In fact, the Hornet does offer that macho big bike feel that no other bike in this price segment offers, but it doesn't feel as nimble or as aggressive as the first generation Hornet that was introduced in our market. Yes, the Hornet is smooth and refined, which is what we expect from a Honda. The engine is nice and responsive, but it lacks that punchy feel that the X-Blade had on offer, which is kind of surprising because on paper the Hornet offers more power and more torque, but when it comes to the ride feel, the X-Blade feels a lot better. The bottom end torque and the initial pickup is much better on the X-Blade compared to the Hornet, although the Hornet also does a decent job in and of itself. Even at higher speeds, the X-Blade seems to hold its own and feels quite confident even at around 100 km per hour, but the Hornet holds up good up to 90 km per hour, post which it starts feeling a little uncertain and a little out of sorts. One more thing is that the handlebar is positioned slightly closer to the rider on the Hornet compared to the X-Blade, so the Hornet feels easier to flick around and the maneuverability is better on the Hornet compared to the X-Blade, especially in city traffic. The clutch feel and throttle action are light and easy on both the bikes without putting much pressure on your fingers, palms or wrists. The gear shifts are quite smooth on both the bikes as well. Talking about the brakes, the Hornet gets a 276mm pedal disc up front and a 220mm pedal disc at the back. The one I'm riding in this video is the CBS variant, which stands for Combi Brake System. Now, quickly sharing the difference between CBS and ABS. CBS is Combi Brake System, which ensures that both the front and the rear brakes are engaged simultaneously, even if you end up using only the rear brake. Now, this is a good safety feature that provides for a safer braking mechanism, but in case of CBS, we still run the risk of the front and rear wheels locking up under panic braking scenarios. Now, this is where ABS steps in to save the day. ABS stands for Anti-Lock Braking System, which prevents the wheels from locking up under panic braking or harsh braking scenarios. Now, since Hornet gets a single channel ABS, ABS would be operational here only on the front wheel. Now, talking about the suspension, we get telescopic forks up front and a monoshock at the back. The suspension on both the X-Blade and the Hornet is quite good, although the one on the X-Blade feels slightly better. The Hornet suspension is slightly on the stiffer side, whereas the X-Blade suspension offers a perfect blend of comfort and performance. So what is the verdict, you might ask? Well, the Hornet is good at what it is sent out to do. It offers a macho big bike feel with good road presence. It has a refined and responsive engine, offers better safety equipment with optional ABS or CBS, and is also priced reasonably well compared to its rivals. The X-Blade, on the other hand, takes all that the Hornet does well and does it even better by offering better ride feel, better pickup right off the mark, better refinement, and a more planted feel at higher speeds. So if it is riding pleasure that you are craving for, then the X-Blade is the one to go for. It also boils down to which design appeals to you the most. But with the safety features being offered with the Hornet, I personally would suggest that you go for the Hornet ABS variant, because there's nothing in this world that can compensate for the value of life of an individual, and safety has to always be our top priority. Mileage wise, I think we can expect around 45 to 48 kmpl from this bike under mixed riding conditions. I would suggest that you go through my mileage tips video by following the link in the description portion below. Price ex-showroom Hyderabad for the Hornet 160R 2018 model is Rs 86,349 for the standard variant, Rs 91,849 for the ABS standard variant, Rs 90,849 for the CBS variant, and Rs 94,349 for the ABS Deluxe variant. Well, that's pretty much it for now. I just hope you found this video useful. Until next time, this is Dino saying ciao. Take care, God bless, and ride safe.